another broadcast. Anyways, like I said, this is your girl Michelle362 coming to you live with another broadcast. So anyways, I'm gonna give my perspective and my logic of the Railjack, an overview of 2019. I gotta apologize, mostly for the fact that I haven't been broadcasting very much anymore on YouTube. As you can tell, I will do this for an overview. Um, I'm on vacation this week, so it's give me some time to actually explain why I'm doing this overview review. My logical version of why, or what I think about the Railjack, and to be perfectly honest with you here. Okay, so anyways, the Railjack is out, Empyrean is out. I mean, can't go wrong with either Railjack or Empyrean. I actually like the idea that they came out with the Railjack. I was kind of wondering when they were gonna, and they finally did. Unfortunately, it's being segmented into 3 to 4 different parts, maybe more. And don't get me wrong, okay, I'm excited for the Railjack. I just want the new war to come out. Look, don't get me wrong, alright? I know there's a lot of people out there who are just gonna, some white knights who may get pissed off the fact that I'm going to be speaking truthful about what's happening on with the Railjack. Don't get me wrong, the Railjack is fun. However, there's some pros and cons to it. The good thing is, the Railjack is good to help you level up on certain attributes or traits. Meaning, like, let's see, if I go to my, well, if I go into my profile, you have like pilot, gunner, tactician, and engineer. Those are pretty awesome. Of course, you got the last one, which is command. That, my understanding is, you have to be a max rank of all of those particular traits, if anything, which that's one of my goals to do in the game. But on the other hand, there's other key factors here that most people, some white knights white knights of Warframe, I should say, may tend to differ with me. So I'm not going to say what they are, but I will say that the Railjack is fun, but it only goes to a point. There's a lot of RNG. I mean, we all know that's going to be a lot of grinding and looting, and you can think of anything possible under the sun here. And to be furthermore, I mean, of course I did my Railjack with a very nice accented color. Some people might not like the outside very much because the outside is a different color, and I named it after myself. As you can tell, I actually went with a different skin, a sun something, which I actually kind of like. I know I made a little bit more than what I should, but I like everything custom. Okay, I like a custom warship. Don't get me wrong, that's just how I am. Some people may not really tend to agree with me on the color or the color choices I picked for it, but, you know, hey, it's my Railjack. I can do whatever the hell I want. So anyways, I want to talk about a couple things here. Well, you know, I don't want to pick on my Railjack too much, but I just want to put it out there. Now, the downside to the Railjack, don't get me wrong, I actually don't mind the grinding. I know some people hate the fact that you have to grind. What I'm going to get at here is when you build the dry dock and you build Cephalon Psi, I know some people have issues where they have the Kuvalich, which I think that's an utterly waste of time. In my perspective there, I actually have a few clan members of mine who generally don't like the idea of the Kuvalich that came up. I mean, some people, there was like a whole thing on Reddit here, a lot of people were pretty pissed off at the fact that the Kuvalich would pretty much either steal the resources that you try to earn in the red areas, or the areas that you go into, those certain areas that you go into, where your Kuvalich could be residing at, and therefore causing you to lose a lot of interesting and valuable resources that you could use later on down the road. And the other thing too is also the foundry. However, now let's get to the nitty gritty of this. Another key factor here I've noticed is when you build the railjack, there's 6 segments. You'd have the fuselage, the wings, the tail, the cowl. Pretty much there's 6 parts to it. Everybody knows you have to do a lot of farming for certain materials. They're not just plain old materials you build for your dojo. They're different materials that you have to collect through the Empyrean War or the Empyrean missions to build it. Not to mention 6 million credits, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But, it is what it is. Some people don't do the railjack because of a lot of reasons. There's some that do, some that don't. I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. The railjack is something you don't want to do solo, only because the missions themselves are hard. Trust me, I got dumped on by a few people who obviously just got up and quit and left me high and dry to defend for myself the entire railjack mission, which I will not get into about. But in another key aspect here, which I also thought was another huge logic thing here, and I just happened to notice that sometimes the railjack, after a while, don't get me wrong, it's fun. However, the railjack can be, after a while, quite boring. Now, what I mean by that, by being quite boring, is the fact that after a while you get to a point into a mission or whatever you max out to, whatever ability or whatever rank you hit, it will become completely and utterly tedious. And trust me, pretty much what I'm saying is you'll have a snore fest. So that's pretty much it. There's not a lot I can really say. Like I said, the railjack's fun. I think DE did a wonderful job, and I also think that if they can keep this up with some better content. But I do have to stress out one key factor here that DE kind of did that they should have not done. I was actually watching a dev stream here. And, when D came out dev stream of our Prime, everybody was all stoked and hyped up and stoked about it. Everybody was wanting Avara Prime, but the problem is that Avara Prime, and most people misread the wording. When it said Avara Prime was a giveaway, the access pass, some people didn't realize it was a contest you had to win. Now, the poor way of doing that by posting stuff up is that Avara Prime, if it's a giveaway, it's a contest. If some people, sometimes I have a theory here, but I'm not going to go on saying it. Like I said, I like DE. I'm not going to say anything to besmirch them. But I actually do think that they need, that DE should be wording things a little bit more carefully, because some of the viewers, or a majority of half the viewers, thought they were going to get an Avara Prime just by watching dev stream. Instead, you get a lousy poster. Now, hey, look, I'm all for free stuff. Here's the thing I'm going to get at here. I missed out on my YouTube channel for so long. I pretty much left because I have my own Twitch channel. I'm sponsored through Twitch and, Amazon as well. But the thing is, the reason why I'm coming on YouTube is to get my final intake on how the railjack is set up and how it is being. To me, I would find the railjack very good. I mean, I have no issues with that. I mean, it does glitch. I mean, there are a few bugs here and there that DE should be paying attention to. Right now, we know the developers there at DE are on vacation. So we're probably not going to see another update until they get back. Hopefully one that's going to repair or patch up some of these major bug issues. For an example, if you are a gunner and you're doing the side guns, one of the side turret guns, you'll notice that the screen will black out on you in certain areas, but there's a solution now to it. You just hit the square button, dismount from the side cannon, and you have it fixed. The game is stupid glitchy. If anybody has had any issues being trapped inside the cockpit while the doors are open but you can't get through to the other side of the railjack and you're still stuck in the cockpit, that's happened to me and it will happen to anybody. Another thing here that's a bit glitchy is the fact that sometimes the playability can be choppy. The hit detection is going to be off a little bit, not by much, but just a little bit. I also think that some things about the railjack, certain things like the Hyperion, I think it was just a rush thing. Everybody was waiting for it when the railjack was coming out, but when the railjack came out, there's glitches. A clan member of mine, for an example, can't finish the railjack or even start it because they do a mission and they can't get the part they need for the railjack. Regardless whether if they set their PS4 up or anything. This has been ongoing. It's happened more than once in my clan, and it's happened, I think, about a couple times. I was fortunate enough to actually get this done without technical issues, but still, there were issues along the way. Another thing I gotta point out, one last thing, is when you do the things as far as like collecting certain armaments and everything else, it's not bad, but you can only have a limited amount. For example here, like I've done some of the research already, so I can actually go ahead and fabricate this if I choose to. Now, see, I can do this one or I can do the MK1. Now, the only difference with this is that I can increase my shield capacity. Now, this is the Photar, which I could even do too. But but there's things here. I don't really can't take and lock in stock of things. There's certain things here I can actually just do, but it comes down to it all. And unfortunately, like I said, there's going to be a lot of RNG, a lot of things that are going to happen here. But as far as like everything else going on with the railjack, it is worth it. I mean, if you don't have any issues of glitching, but it's worth it. It's actually worth the farming, and if you don't mind that sort of thing, like I do, it's fine. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to cover on there about the railjack and its pros and cons and a little bit of flaws here and there. I mean, every new content that comes out is going to have some kind of flaw. I know there's some people out there who complain and say, well, but it shouldn't be that way. It should be, there's no flaws. But if any new content comes out for a game, whether if it's a railjack or if it's Hyperion or even if it's the new Worm, we're going to see a lot of glitches in there too. But it's all gonna be what it is. But I think I pretty much covered up everything about the basis here of my my review actually, and my reflection 2019, the end stream for me on YouTube for this year. But for 2019. But I will say this. If you have not followed me on Twitch, please do so. It's Michelle362. And if you have Twitter, you can also follow me on Twitter, Queen of Iron 362. And I'm also on Instagram. Of course, you'll see on the bottom of the screen, which is right there. So anyways, this is your girl Michelle362. I am going to say peace, love, and happiness, and Happy New Year. And hopefully I will be on more often to do more streams and live takes. Till then, I'm going to sign off, and I think that pretty much will cover everything for today. So anyways, if you go out and you get drunk or anything like that, stay at a friend's house and stay over there and sleep, or get a designated driver. Till then, peace, love, and happiness, and I will see you then.